Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On the show, we are tracking the big story that is coming to us from across the border in Nepal. Tragedy has struck the rooftop of the world this morning when a mild earthquake triggered a massive flash flood in a district that borders Tibet. A river called the Bhote Koshi River in the Rasuwa district swelled and lost control as it soared and roared and swept away everything that came in its wake. People, homes, markets, bridges, hydropower projects that it is known for, roads as well. At least 400 people, mostly tourists, are said to be missing. 133 Indians who were in the region for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatris in China. In fact, the most dramatic pictures that you're seeing on your screens have come to us from that very checkpoint that Indian Yatris cross or have to cross when they travel to the Kailash Mansarovar via Kathmandu. The death toll, ladies and gentlemen, is mounting this evening. It right now officially stands at 55, though the pictures that have come to us from Nepal are clearly suggesting that the number is far higher. Now, the flash floods, according to the Nepalese government, have caused huge damage in both Nepal and China. We are hearing that Xi Jinping has also ordered relief and rescue in the areas in Tibet that have been hit. Floodwaters are expected to enter India by 7 p.m. That is right about now. Areas along the Gandhak River in Bihar have already been put on high alert. The Prime Minister has spoken to his Nepalese counterpart. At least 2 Indian Air Force assets are on standby to carry relief material to Nepal. Let me go straight across to Priyank and Mayank, who are joining us on the broadcast. Priyank, I'm coming to you first. The estimation was that the floodwaters, the flash flood and the floodwaters that came in from China into Nepal would enter Indian borders at about 7 o'clock, Bihar and along the areas of the Gandhak. Has that happened, and what are the preparations in place, given that the disaster that we are seeing in Nepal cannot be underestimated?
Yeah, certainly, Shreya, what we have got to know that 2.5 lakh cubic of water is flowing towards the Indian side, and it is coming from the Gandhak side. We are at the NDRF headquarters where the ground situation is being assessed. What they are focusing is these areas of Uttar Pradesh, and they have been focusing the area of Bihar. What is very important that these maps have been put in, and they have been assessing through the Google Earth images so that ground assessment can be done. What NDRF has told to us that they had additional teams there in the state of Bihar because there was a situation which was emerging because of the flood kind of situation. So in addition to that, 2 more teams have been sent. So 9 teams of NDRF in Bihar and 11 teams there in Uttar Pradesh will be working in tandem to control this kind of situation. But the situation is certainly depending on how much of water is being released from the Nepalese side, because those barrages can only control water till 80,000 cubic of water. Then what will happen to the rest of 1.7 lakh cubic of water? If the water flows towards India, then certainly it will hit on all those major locations where the inhabitation has been done. These are the areas of West Champaran, these are the areas of Muzaffarpur, which is falling in this particular zone, and then after crossing it, the Gandak River actually hits at Hajipur, which is a satellite town of Patna, which is the capital city. So everything is depending on how much of water is being released from the Nepalese side. We spoke to the senior officials in Nepalese government side. They said that the Prime Minister of Nepal had a long meeting with all these stakeholders who are assessing the situation, and depending on that, things will be done. On top of the hillside, the location where the ice glacier, that big ice block which is broken, which has resulted into this kind of disaster. It's inaccessible. 20 bridges have been broken, 14 to 25 helicopters have been working, 4 police stations have been wiped away. That is very alarming, because of which the communication channel has been disturbed. The NDRF is certainly keeping a watch through the satellite imagery. They have been working on the ground also, Shreya, so that on Indian side the disaster could be less, human life can be saved, and what they have been focusing on is to movement of all those villagers from these nearby areas who have been staying near Gandak River, so that lives can be saved. This water will be there for approximately 5 to 6 hours of time period. So tonight is going to be very crucial for those people.
It's going to be a rough night for the NDRF and the people who live along the Gandak River, is what you're telling us, Priyank. You're keeping an eye out on what is happening in Bihar. Mayank, you're joining us on the broadcast. You cover the MOD, the Ministry of Defense, for us. I believe that as soon as later tonight, I believe, there will be a transport plane of the Indian Air Force that will be carrying relief material to Nepal. Have the modalities been worked out? How many assets are on standby? What are you hearing?
Shreya, while we were talking to the people, there has been a logical planning. For quick induction, the Air Force is planning, as the sources have told, C-130J, which can even not only land on a shorter strip, it can take off from a shorter strip, for the reason that as many assets we can induct, and that will be, the C-130J will be carrying NDRF teams, which are specialized teams to respond in such a situation, wherein the cutters will be there. I mean, specialized equipments will be there. The other aircraft which is being readied is C-17, which is the Globemaster, which is a strategic airlift transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force, and which can lift up around 77,000 kgs of things, and which is 77 tons. It is being kept ready, or is being ready to carry out load which will be for humanitarian aid and disaster relief. Mind it, learning from the experiences of the past, India has drawn out certain systems and a mechanism by which they prepare pellets which can be quickly dispensed to the people to look after a family of almost 4 to 5 people, containing certain basic equipments, certain basic food material, medicine, water, to the extent and if it is a family pack, there are tents also. This is the kind of preparation which India has already done. Given a permission, as soon as the permission comes, these two transport aircrafts, for the beginning, C-130J will be quickly taking off from India to land in Kathmandu, which is the larger air base, because from that administrative ground, things will be dispersed further. As we have already been reporting on Times Now, that almost 19 bridges at the location of impact, they are already washed off. Sure. And it's almost 40 kilometers of roads. And in mountains, road communication is really, really important. It is indispensable because it makes the movement possible. Otherwise, by walking on foot or trekking over the mountains, it will take multiple days. Okay. This is how the things are planned, Shreya. For quick movement, tactical aircraft 130J is being kept ready, and as soon as the permission comes, one will fly from India for Nepal, Shreya.
All right, that should happen as soon as this evening, possibly tomorrow morning as well. Meanwhile, we continue to get pictures from a place called Gairyong in Tibet. This actually, that is on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. As I've already mentioned, this is the transit point, the immigration center that all tourists from India who are visiting or going to visit the Kailash Mansarovar, they are supposed to get clearances from this one place. And that is the place, it seems, that has been hit terribly because of this flash flood. These pictures on your screens, 133 pilgrims are missing, and there is some news coming in about a group from the Isha Foundation being there as well, and some of them missing as well. We'll get you more details on that as soon as we can, and I hope we can do that sooner rather than later. Dhairyakant Datta, you're a Nepalese journalist. You're joining us on the broadcast. Can you get us up to speed on what exactly is happening? I understand that at this point of time, Mr. Datta, it is very difficult to say how many people have lost their lives, what is the sort of damage that has been caused. But what are you hearing?
More than 500 are still missing. More than 500 are still missing. They are not in contact. After that, 384 pilgrims are not in contact. Out of them, 291 are foreigners and 93 are Nepalese. All these pilgrims are not in contact. They are not in touch. Nobody's confirming where they are at present, till now. So the present situation is that almost 72 deaths are confirmed, and more than 500 are out of reach. We can say they are not in contact. Not only the general common people, even the police forces are also missing in Nepal. At present, Nepal police, after that armed police force and the Nepal armies, few members of Nepal armies are also missing. So we can imagine how tragic the moment was for Nepal. It's I think many people say that this is in the history of Nepal, this is the first time they have seen such type of flood, or which has come from the Tibet. Called it's almost from the border of Nepal, China.
Sure.
It is up to 26 kilometers north. 26 kilometers north. That is called Kerung County. From there, the flood has come, and the lapses, the main lapses is that there was a lacking of pre-information. Nobody informed about such situation is coming, such like Nepal, China, and India. All these three are connected with the same river system. So if there would have been in pre-information at least half an hour ago, then many lives could have been saved.
Sure.
But this happened. Nobody informed. This thing happened in Nepal today. It's a big disaster in Nepal.
Give me a moment here, because we've been talking about Indians missing, and we'll just fix Mr. Bhatnagar's frame there. We'll give him a moment. We'll take a piece of breaking news coming in and we'll let him fix his frame. But for the moment, we are hearing from the Sadhguru confirming that some people, at least from the Isha Foundation, who were on their way to the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, have been caught in the flash floods. He's saying that there were 77 pilgrims who were reported to be at this particular immigration center, as it were, and they are out of contact, is what we are being told by the Sadhguru. That is something we are hearing from the Nepalese side as well. This is what he's saying, and he's talking about this one particular place called Gairong in Tibet, from where those visuals that you're seeing on your screens are coming from. The Sadhguru confirming that one of the Isha Foundation's Kailash group has been caught in it. He's confirming that there are others who are on their way back. This was a large group. There were multiple groups, actually. There were 21 groups who were part of the sojourn. 495 people, he says, have already returned safely. 743 people are currently in Tibet. 148 people are in Nepal. And 77 people, ladies and gentlemen, were at this immigration center that you're seeing on your screens. There were 3 volunteers in Timure in Nepal as well. He's going on to say, I mean, we don't know what has happened to these 77, this group of 77. The number of tourists, Indian tourists missing right now is 133. Possibly the number could go up as more information trickles in. But he's saying to the families and loved ones of those in our group and hundreds of others who are affected in the region, I share your pain, and we are sparing no effort during this profoundly difficult time. I'm personally in the region to ensure that the best can be done in the given circumstances. So the Sadhguru confirming that he is in the region. He is not at this exact spot where the flash flood struck, but he's in the region, and he's trying to see what has happened to these 77 Indian pilgrims who were at this transit center. Let me go across to Mr. Bhatnagar, who is joining us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Bhatnagar, all right, I don't believe we've still been able to fix your frame. Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Bhatnagar, you're joining us from the hospital, and I thank you for it. I mean, I thank you for it. Can I ask you if you have seen pictures on your screens about what has happened in Nepal, and what is your assessment of what has happened, the sort of damage and the loss of life? Okay, you know what we'll do, Mr. Bhatnagar, it seems, is in hospital. We'll just let him go. He's having a bit of a medical situation. I don't think it's fair on us to impose ourselves and ask him questions at this difficult moment. So thank you very much, Mr. Bhatnagar. We'll come back to you once you're better, as and when you're better. Mr. Bhatnagar, Mr. Datta, we are seeing the pictures. There is now confirmation coming in from the Sadhguru that that there was indeed a group of Indian tourists who were on their way to the Kailash Mansarovar who have possibly been hit in this flash flood. Can I ask you what you're hearing?
the Nepalese authority, Guru has confirmed, maybe he's from India, but actually Nepalese sources till now they haven't confirmed how many are from.
We just seem to be having some technical issues. We'll come back to you, Mr. Datta. Meanwhile, I'm going across to Rajendra Mahato, who's a former Deputy Prime Minister of Nepal, who is joining us. Mahato जी, आप बता सकते हैं कि आप इस समय क्या सुन रहे हैं?
ऐसा कि आज सवेरे ये अचानक एक रसुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में बोटे कोसी एक नदी है, वहां अचानक से बाढ़ आ गया। उधर से लगता है तिब्बत साइड में कोई उसका ये टूटा, तो अचानक से आया और काफी क्षति पहुंचाया है। रसुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट, नुआकोट डिस्ट्रिक्ट, धादिंग डिस्ट्रिक्ट, चितौन डिस्ट्रिक्ट लगायत ये इतनी तेज रफ्तार से आया एक ही बार की सारा भौतिक संरचना का नष्ट किया। और मुझको लगता है कि हजारों लोग अब इसमें हताहत हुए हैं। अभी एक्यूरेट रिपोर्ट नहीं आ पा रहा है कितने लोग इसमें जान गई। काफी पर्यटक लोग भी इसमें अभी लापता है और हजारों के हजारों संख्या में अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है। इसमें काफी लोग इस बाढ़ के चपेट में आया है और भौतिक संरचना का तो काफी नुकसान हुआ है। ये बहुत ही जनधन की क्षति हुई है। ये सवेरे से अभी तक इसका कोई अनुमान लगा पाना दिक्कत हो रहा है, मुश्किल हो रहा है।
आप मुझे बता सकते हैं इस समय नेपालीज गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियली क्या बोल रही है?
सरकार पहला तो इसमें ये राहत उद्धार का जो काम है उस पर लगी हुई है। ये पहला प्राथमिकता यही है। हम लोगों का भी कहना है कि लोगों को सहयोग किया जाए, उद्धार किया जाए, कहाँ लोग फंसे हुए हैं उनको निकाला जाए। नेपाल की सारे सुरक्षा निकाय, सेना, प्रहरी लगायत विभिन्न पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग, नागरिक समाज, सभी लोग इसमें लगे हुए हैं और लोगों को बचाने का प्रयास हो रहा है। प्राथमिक उद्धार जो काम करना है, लोगों को बचाना, उसमें लगे हुए हैं। फिर प्रभावित नागरिकों को सहयोग, राहत सहयोग पहुंचाना है। सारा गांव का गांव ध्वस्त हुआ है, बाजार का बाजार ध्वस्त हुआ है। तो ये सारी बात प्राथमिक रूप से सरकार भी इसमें लगी है, सारे पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां सभी इसमें लगा हुआ है और राहत पहुंचाने में, लोगों को बचाने में एक काम सब चल रहा है अभी।
आखिर में मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी कि हम जानते हैं कि इंडियन एयरफोर्स के कम से कम 2 एसेट्स हैं जो कि ऑन स्टैंड बाय हैं, जो दवाइयां लेके आएंगे, खाना लेके आएंगे, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। नेपाल ने भारत से किस तरह की मदद मांगी है या अपेक्षा कर रही है?
अब ये तो सरकारी स्तर पर ही बात होगी किस प्रकार का सहयोग नेपाल सरकार को चाहिए। अभी प्राथमिक चरण में ये देखा गया कि लोग का उद्धार किया जाए, जो लोग फंसे हुए हैं उनको निकाला जाए। ये तो सवेरे से चल रहा है। नेपाल यहाँ सेना के हेलीकॉप्टर, प्राइवेट सेक्टर का हेलीकॉप्टर वगैरह प्रयोग किया जा रहा है और लोग लगे हुए हैं। सेना, प्रहरी और नागरिक सभी लोग लगे हुए हैं इसमें। अब सेकेंड फेज में अभी इसको राहत पहुंचाने की बात है। वो जो नाश हुआ है, खाने पीने की बात होगी, दवा दारू की बात होगी, उसको रहने का ठिकाना, ये सारी बात अब इस पर मुझको लगता है सरकार को इस पर आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। और इतनी बड़ी क्षति हुई है इसमें, अब बाहर से भारत से किस प्रकार का मदद चाहिए इस पर सरकार सोच रही होगी। और मुझको लगता है सरकार के बीच में इस पर बातें होगी, किस प्रकार का सहयोग दुनिया से चाहिए, भारत से किस प्रकार का सहयोग चाहिए, सरकारी स्तर पर ही बात होगी।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। मुश्किल की घड़ी है नेपाल के लिए। ऑल्सो गोइंग स्ट्रेट अक्रॉस टू प्रियांक, हु हैज बीन जॉइंड बाय द NDRF चीफ ज्ञानेश्वर सिंह. He is the commandant operations at NDRF, keeping a close track of the situation in Nepal and what could possibly develop in India as well. Let's listen in.
So we have already deployed 2 teams along the Gandak in the West Champaran and the Muzaffarpur. Already our 9 teams are already in the field since it is a flood-prone season. And one team has gone to the this Kushinagar district. So the MHA is keeping a high, means it is closely monitoring the situations, and we are getting the directions also. And we ourselves, in coordination with the state governments and the CWC, we are in close monitoring situations. So and we have kept our more additional teams also on standby. The adjoining districts from where the Gandak River flows, they are likely to be hampered. So our teams are already there in the field, and additional teams required, they will be there. We are there to help the people, and first is the lives of the people. We don't want that the lives of the people are lost. So we are just, first priority is to save the lives of the people.